Today on the channel, we got the long-awaited, highly anticipated NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Universal Monster crossover figure of Dracula Shredder.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Universal Monster Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle NECA crossover event of a lifetime action figure review. And today on the channel, we got Shredder / Dracula. But for all your turtle needs and everything else under the sun, make sure you're hitting up jaystoysandgames.com. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 15%. Yes, 15%. Got to get a deal out there. You know how that goes by now. But this one hitting Target right now, part of the Holothon, and in a plot twist, apparently there's going to be a second version of this one as a Walmart exclusive. So be on the lookout for that one. We'll probably unbox that on the channel, and then we'll compare them when that time does come. But this one here today, guess what? We're going to do it like we do all the other videos on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. We'll do a little comparison later on in this video, though. But there it is, old Dracula Shredder. It looks a lot like a bat to me, which I guess it's supposed to be Shredder's face and obviously Dracula a bat, but it looks almost more Shredder-like with bat ears is how that image looks at least. But it is, of course, Dracula down here. Shredder is Dracula, Ultimate action figure. Turtles, Universal Monsters, looking very good. On the side, same thing going on. Then on this side, we got the cross-sell. We've been unboxing every single one of these, including the black and white editions on the channel. Make sure you check them out if you did miss those. Things move fast on the channel. We've unboxed it all. We unbox everything. You guys know how we are over here. Looking good on the back. Very cool poster kind of action there. And it does say, guaranteed to horrify the blood-sucking samurai. Shredder is Dracula. Behold the immortal master who reigns in blood like a young Kerry King once upon a time. Fear the undead shred head. With fangs of steel, the horror is real. Crimson creature of the night, rising from his coffin to dine on turtle soup. He'll rip you to shreds. And very cool that we get a Shredder head and a Bela Lugosi kind of knockoff Dracula head as well. Very cool there. And then in the package, you get the window box. And of course, there he is in all of his Dracula glory. But let's get him out of the package. But let's get the old tape cut first. How about? Get old Shredder Dracula. And this one is one that had been rumored for a long time before it was even announced. Made a lot of sense for a lot of people. See you later, goodbye. So it was very fitting, of course, especially when Splinter was Van Helsing, and we'll bring him out in a little bit here. But there it is, the old plastic prison for old Vlad, old Dracula Shredder. But I'm going to take him offline, get everything out of the package, and we'll be back talking all things Dracula Shredder. All right, let's dive into Dracula Shredder, and let's start with the accessories. Start with the hands out of the package. Very interesting. We do got the Shredder-like claw hands. Of course, the claws going over the hands here. An interesting yellowish kind of green skin tone for Dracula. A little bit undead, maybe on his way to becoming a zombie. No? Okay, vampires, zombies. Has there ever been a movie with vampires and zombies in it? I'm sure there has somewhere along the way. But we do get the bladed hands, we'll call them. And out of the package, he has one bladed hand, one regular hand. Pick your poison there. We do get a gripping hand and a clawing hand right here. Then we do get two different clawing hands. Or no, a gripping hand, clawing hand over here as well. Got the big black fingernails on this one. Looking very crazy, looking very undead is what it looks like. And over here, two punches and bunches, two fists of cuffs ready to go. One bladed, one unbladed. So for those keeping track at home, on the hands for Dracula. Now, how about some animals? We're coming with animals here. We do got two rats, a brown rat and a black rat, and it looks like both of them are dead. I don't know what happened to them here. Maybe they, got bit by a vampire and didn't come back. I don't know. But they're off to the side and their hands are just kind of like this, so it doesn't look like a very vibrant rat right here. But it is two rats, I guess goes along a bit with the Dracula theme, as we know. And then at the same time, Shredder, obviously Splinter, his mortal enemy, a rat once again. So I guess on brand, Dracula killing the rats. Long way to get there. And one last animal. How about a turtle? a turtle with a candle at the top. Of course, Dracula loves good candle. You know he doesn't like the sunlight, so he uses candlelight. And I guess he uses these little turtles along the way to walk around, I guess is what that is. So do get a little turtle action. And then, of course, we get the Dracula famous jug. Of course, many people don't know this. Todd McFarlane on the couch. I'm going to test your knowledge on Dracula. Of course, Dracula also spent his weekends, especially in the summertime when all the ships would come in, part of a jug band. And it was a one-man jug band, but he'd sit there and he'd be blowing on the thing. And he'd be playing all the songs and everybody'd be riveted. Everybody'd stand around, and that's when he's blowing on that jug. That's when he'd be looking for his next victim. He'd be biting into him. You know how that goes with Dracula. But a mean jug band player, and we got that jug right here. Even a little rope on the end, too. If you want to light that on fire for extra theatrics with some moonshine in there, who knows what he's up to. Dracula's a wild guy. Now we do got a little snake's head. Not sure exactly what's up with this or exactly where this goes, but a little snake skeleton head. I don't know if you can put this over one of the rat's heads. I don't know what this is exactly for, but we do get it. So there you go. We do get that there. And then we do get a spear. And Dracula, a guy usually not with weapons, but he does get a spear right here. He got the nice handle in the middle, ribbed, of course, for his pleasure, I'm sure. Brown handle, and then you got the crazy dagger at the top, all kinds of spikes on the end. A bad day at the office if you're on the business end of this one here. But we usually don't think of Dracula with weapons, but we do think of Shredder. However, for me, I think of Shredder with a blade, a katana sword, or something like that. Would have liked to seen this with here, but not going to be in the cards. But now we're going to dive into it, and we got basically 3 heads with this one, because 3 heads better than 1. And it is cool. I did mention the Walmart edition coming sooner rather than later. You got to make them as different as possible. So I will display one in full-on Shredder regalia, and I'll display one in Dracula regalia. That's how I'm going to do it, at least in my collection. Now, right out of the package, we're more Bela Lugosi. I guess we're more Dracula style, because this doesn't look like Bela Lugosi. It looks like an homage, Todd McFarlane, to Bela Lugosi here. But once again, you got to play around. You got to dance around those IPs. And I've always heard the Bela Lugosi IP very difficult to get, very costly to get. So they're close enough to be dangerous, but they're not there. They didn't just give us a Universal Monster Bela Lugosi head for this one, but it does look close enough to be dangerous. He does got a little bit of a blood right here. Of course, Splinter scratched him across the face. We got that going on. He's got lipstick on or blood all over his lips as well. Got some Ox Baker-like eyebrows on this one. Got a little bit of point up there, a little flare, and then he's got that pure black hair all slicked back. Besides that, playing the human hits, 2 eyes, 2 ears, a nose and a mouth, and even 2 eyebrows, as I did say. But looking like Dracula. Close enough to be dangerous, once again. Now, the second head sculpt here, we're going full-on Shredder and a little crazy here, like a bat Shredder. I guess this is the amalgamation of these 2 characters together. We get this. We get the samurai helmet here, of course, over the top. You get the very bat-like ears. You get the fiery red around the eyes. Silver, black, and red attack looking good. You even got some gold fangs on this one. So playing all the hits with that. And then the third head here, I guess, is somewhere in the middle. So you got full-on Dracula in the middle, full-on crazy is what you get with this one. But you do got the Shredder kind of mask going on over the front. You do got the same head as you can see it back there. You got those fiery red eyes once again, and you got the samurai helmet with the blade over the top. So 3 pretty good helmets, or 3 pretty good heads all in all here. Like I said, I'm going to use this head on one of the 2 once we get the other one, and I'll use one of these other ones on the other one. So choose your own head adventure, as we always do say here. But how about we choose our own cape adventure? Beautiful soft goods Dracula cape here, all black on the outside, red on the inside. I'm here for that. Love a good soft goods cape. Now, he does got some shoulder protection here. Of course, more like a Shredder right there, but you got the spikes up there. Looking very good. You do got the black robe over the top, and then you got some armor here, some very samurai armor in the middle. Samurai belt around there. I think that is the Shredder Unified Championship. He unified all the different Shredder titles throughout the world. Put it all into right here. Got those forearm guard spikes. Once again, feeling Shredder, and same thing with the hand spikes over on the hands. Feeling like Shredder once again. 2 Fists of Fury, as we did mention earlier. He does got some chainmail down here. Got to protect those thighs, I guess. And then he does got old-timey. They're very old-timey. Could even be Little League version of Terry Steinbach's shin guards down here, looking very good. Once again, spikes on the side, down into the black protected boot. So almost like a samurai, almost like Dracula. It really is Shredder Dracula. Bam! Pushed together is what we got here. Now, head is removable, of course. Articulation around, back and forth, side to side. Arms do go around. A A little bit tough to get through those shoulder guards, though, so beware of those. You don't want to rip those off. They are not removable. Does got a little real chain right up here. I forgot to mention that. He's got a little neck protection there. Protect your neck. We know how that goes as well. Looking good. He does got some blood splatter. I think that's what that's supposed to be, or it's errant paint. Either way, it looks like blood on the forearm guards there. Double jointed pinless elbows. You know I like that. Hands back and forth, side to side. Waist articulation up, down, back and forth. A little bit limited by all that bagginess right there. Not much of splits for old Dracula. Not really a gymnast. More a guy in flight, of course. He's going to kick you in the groin if you're not careful. Oh, get a little thigh cut in there. Double jointed pinless knees. You know those are hits I like. Foot, back, forth, side to side. Ankle articulation. So our usual articulation here. Not a quite Spider-Man. A little bit heavy on the articulation, but not super mobile. But does look good. It is an interesting one, and like I said earlier, it's long rumored. It feels like it took forever to get here. Going to be interesting if this is the end of this line. I don't think it is. I think they said there was more in the works. Going to be really interesting to see what else they can pull out. Would love to see some more of these, of course, being a Turtle fan and Universal Monsters fan. But I do like this Dracula one. I don't know if it's my favorite one. I wouldn't go that far for sure, but I do like the idea of us getting another one from Walmart that's going to look a little different, because it is tough to pick. Do I want a Shredder head or a Dracula head or somewhere in between? Now I have two options to display, and I'm only going to have one head as the odd man out, so we'll see what I decide on that one. But of course, we kind of figured this was the way they were going to go when they had Van Helsing Splinter, so we get those two here together. Quite the size difference, as you can imagine, but very cool here to get these guys in the Universal Monsters. Like I said, hitting Target Haulathon right now, should be at all other retailers 30, 60, 90 days from now, depending on the time frame of the exclusivity with Target. How about that? So there it is, Dracula Shredder. What's your guys' thoughts? Is this one worth pick up for you? Long game? No game? Pass game? Let me know in the comments down below. Of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell, as we got videos every single day, and then some. And of course, got 2 YouTube channels. Can you believe it? 2 YouTube channels with videos every single day. Make sure you subscribe to both of those. Check out the Patreon. Check out the YouTube channel memberships. Check out my podcast every single Tuesday. It is The Kyle Peterson Show, wherever podcasts are found. Video cast on YouTube. SirPaul64 on the X. _Kyle_Peterson on Threads. Instagram, TikTok. TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com. And of course, my book, The Complete Guide to the ECW Original San Francisco Toy Makers. Available from me or Amazon and Barnes & Noble. So for Dracula Shredder, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?